everybody, welcome back to Country Girl with Kathy Jarvis. And it's the end of June already. So we're going to take a little tour and show you what's blooming and what's growing in the gardens. Out here in the entryway, our hostas are starting to bloom. The astalbes are almost done. You can see them back there. Daylilies are blooming. The yucca plants have pretty much finished blooming. You can still see some of them. It's nice and green, pretty. I still need to weed over here. You can still see yucca plants and daylilies. Some petunias that managed to survive. These are volunteers, I didn't plant them. And I got more daylilies. Over here, yuccas are almost done. There's a bunch, oh, I don't know if you can see him. Get up, he just jumped. The frog was back. Not much else up here blooming right now. Got a couple of daylilies in the back. I need to trim this evergreen. My Shasta daisy is blooming, and one of my geraniums that I started from seed is blooming. My hanging baskets are doing fine. I still need to weed the bee garden. But the bees are happy, the birds are happy. We got the bee bombs coming in faux. You can see them, they're really pretty. Hollyhock, got a yellow one here, or peach, whatever one color you want to call it. It's kind of a peachy color. Got a lot of field daisies I need to take out. And the roses are doing really beautiful. But I do have a lot of weeding to do in here. I need to take all these field daisies out so we can walk the path. You can't even see the path right now. We have just been overwhelmed with trying to keep the garden going right now between rain and hot weather. It's either one or the other. It's either super, super hot or it's super rainy, and the rain causes the weeds to grow. So we've been doing a lot of weeding out in the garden, plus mowing the grass. We have to do it about twice a week right now because of its growing. We don't just have our grass to do. We have up at my mom's place, and then we have the apartment grass. So we've got quite a bit of grass to cut. And we expanded the garden this year. We doubled it last year and we added it on again this year. So there is quite a lot of garden space to take care of. So out in the garden, this is what we got going. We got the peaches. They're not doing too well, as you can tell. We had so much rain weather that I did not get out here to spray like I should. So my peach crop this year is going to be probably nothing again. See, just twigs are just breaking off. We lost that whole limb last year, so I'm not for sure what's going on there. The grapes are doing well. I need to get out here and spray them before they get any fungus on them. Don't want them to go bad. This is the one round bed that we left. Probably next year we'll change it out, or maybe this fall. Blackberries are looking really good. They haven't started turning yet, but they're gonna be a good size. And there's Fluffy and Spike. Hey, Spike, stop that. Got a strawberry. Yeah. This bed's doing really well. I lost half of them to the mow, but we got these solar mow traps. I'll do a review on them later. Need to weed this strawberry bed. I usually start at this end and go down that way. So I've got everything down that way done. So now it's time to come back and start on this end. So these beds will be the first ones to be done. Over here we got the asparagus. We end up putting up the T-post and string to keep those upright. We have the cherry tomatoes here and the sun golds here. And as you see, they're loaded with tomatoes, all sizes. So we're gonna have a nice batch of tomatoes out of that one. And this bed, it looks pretty empty right now, mainly because I just got through harvesting it. I do have another row of cucumbers on the end. I got those 2 cucumbers there, and I put more cucumbers here. I'm staggering my 2 cucumbers because last year the squash bugs came in and just got rid of all my cucumbers. So I'm staggering them this year, hoping that I can either beat the squash bugs or have some come on after they leave. I have a row of turnips here. I've used those up. Have a row of beets here. I've used most of those up. And I've planted new ones that haven't come up. Well, you just see them. You can just see them. If you look real close, you can see where they're just starting to come up. Okay, this is my green beans, bush green beans. We've harvested off of this twice now so far. Again, I've got parsnips planted right through here. I just planted those last week, or this week. And then I got some more cucumbers planted in between these cucumbers. Now, this bed did not do very well. I had cabbage in here, and you can see they're just skeletons now. That is because I didn't get the cover on right away. Now, if you look closer, you'll see baby cabbages coming up over there. I got a row of Brussels sprouts in the center, and I got some celery over here in the corner, which is doing well. So hopefully now they got the cover on them, the caterpillars won't get into them to eat them. Plus, I'm going to spray this with some neem oil. My squash, so far, knock on wood, my squash has done good. You can see I've got a baby squash coming on right there. If I can keep the cats out of them. But they're doing really well so far. I keep checking them. No squash borers yet. So we'll keep checking. And if I see any, we'll spray them. This bed was broccoli. We had this heat wave. You can see what happened. It went to seed. So I'll be pulling that one out. I'll be pulling that one out. But I do have some little ones coming over there. That's sprouting broccoli over there. And I've got some new cauliflower coming up over here. But this again, I didn't get the chance to get the cover on, and the cabbage worm skeletonized that one. Over here is the po beans. They're doing really well. They haven't produced anything yet, but they're still concentrating on growing. Okay, I got some carrots in the bucket, and I've got the potatoes in these buckets. which are starting to die back, so I'll be able to harvest these buckets soon. The okra is doing really well. I did leave 2 parsnips from last year. That's what these are. I'm leaving them go to seed, and once they start to dry up, I will collect seeds from them, so I'll have my parsnips seeds for next year. You don't really need a whole bunch of space to save seeds. Like I said, I use these 2 for parsnips, and there's a good chance. I haven't ever done parsnips before, so I'm gonna have to see how many seeds are in a container. I only need 1 of these and not 2. In here we have the mild hot peppers, and they're doing really well. I just harvested a pepper off of them the other day. Thought there was one on here to show you. I don't see it. Up there it is. Here we go. We got one right there. Yep. But they're not doing too bad. Then I got more tomatoes in here. You can see they're just starting to put on. These are the cherry tomatoes. And then back in the corner here, this is where I'm harvesting my seeds for Brussels sprouts. Now these were in here all by themselves, so I know that they're not been cross-pollinated because they didn't have anything else that's blooming at the time these were blooming. So you just take off the ones that are dry. I just throw them in a container. I do this once a day, and then when I get enough of them, I'll put them in a sack, and I'll just shake the sack like crazy and get the seeds out of them. And it's simple. You don't need a whole bunch. You just need 1 plant, and you don't even need a whole plant. I cut off so many of these because each one of these little seeds is filled with seeds. So you're going to have more than enough seeds for next year, but you do have to get them before they get too, there's the seeds. You need to get them before they get too dry and burst on their own. Here's the other strawberry bed that was just weeded not too long ago. Our potatoes are doing really well. They're pretty much flowered. A lot of them have already finished with the flowers. So we'll be able to, these are my early ones here. And those are the main ones. And then those are the late ones from through there. So I've got different varieties of potatoes. Now this is the bee garden. Now you notice I left the filled daisies in here because the bees love them. I also have regular Shasta daisies. In the front here I have little coluses coming up from that self-seeded from last year. And I have a marigold that's self-seeded, and the rest of this area I've got seeds in, but they haven't come up yet. Shasta daisies, these are what I grew last year from seeds, and they're perennial. Oh, look at that. Little bee is visiting the bee garden. The irises have already bloomed. Phlox is blooming, and my hollyhocks out here are blooming. I think it's gorgeous. Now with a bee garden, a little bit different from a bird garden. Bee garden, you need to have rocks in your bird bath. This will allow the bees to come and land on the rocks and be able to drink the water. And you notice there's an area on the side that's for the birds, so they still have room to also play in the water. Now out here we have our rest of our tomatoes. The ones on the long row, these are the Rome type tomatoes. These will all produce their tomatoes approximately the same time, so I can make ketchup and tomato sauce out of these. These on the stakes are the indeterminate ones that will keep on growing up. And if you notice, I've got those pretty much down to one stem. Where I left these over here, I leave and just take the leaves that are touching the ground. Those are the only ones I took off. Sweet corn's doing, it's doing okay. It's better than what I usually get. I have another row. I had 2 more rows through here. But if you look real close, you will see evidence of where the raccoons have been out here and they've dug up the seeds. So I'm going to have to either start my seeds inside the greenhouse and transplant them out here, or forget about the second round of sweet corn. Now I have a red currant tomato here. I'm not too crazy about the red currant tomatoes, but I had the seeds left over and I went ahead and planted them mainly as a sacrificial plant. So hopefully we will get some tomatoes off. But these are so small tomatoes, they're only about the size of your thumbnail, and that's it. So they're very, very small. The melon patch, oh, the melon patch is looking beautiful right now. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Last year it looked really great until I lost everything to squash bugs. So hopefully I will be able to keep the squash bugs away this year. And we got watermelon on the end, butternut squash, cantaloupe, pumpkin, and watermelon. And then here is the new trellis that we made. This is for the indeterminate tomatoes. Keep those down to one stem. I prune them up to where the first bunch of tomatoes are, and then I stop. I don't take any farther from that. Just keep it low. And notice I have cherry tomatoes, I have Rome tomatoes, and I have slicing tomatoes all on here. And they're looking pretty good right now. Remember to come out every day or every other day and check your plants to make sure there's no worms or anything on them. Look for damages, look for leaf damage where they've been eaten. And the first time, as soon as you see a leaf that's been damaged, come out here at night, try to find out. It's usually the hornworm is usually what gets on your tomatoes. I have a cat grabbing my feet. Remember Spike? This is him. He's grown up a little. So hopefully we'll be having tomatoes before much longer. Ouch. All right. Poor apple tree. Same thing happened. We had all that rain. I didn't have a chance to get out here and spray. So my apples have got bug bites on them. Something terrible. Okay, let's go inside the greenhouse and see what we got going there. No cats allowed in here. All right, we've got the, he's gonna try, look at that. Anyway, we've got the tomatoes in here. They're doing good. These are the romaine ones. We've got celebrity ones down the center. These are indeterminate. They grow as big as they want. These are determinate ones. The onions are doing well. The lettuce is doing well. Kale is doing really well. Row of carrots, not too bad. We're supposed to be in 2 rows. I put some cucumbers in here. They're doing well. They're coming up this little trellis. Broccoli rabe here. turnips here. I just harvested the cabbage out here yesterday. And I harvested most of the radishes. I harvested all the beets out here. And Swiss chard is here. You can see it's just starting to come up. And these two beds are clear right now because I took all the peas out yesterday and haven't gotten back in here to plant anything. Catnip's doing really well. My banana peppers, we're going to be harvesting peppers before much longer. I have gotten peppers off of this bunch earlier. So they're coming in waves, so that's good. They're not all at once. And then I got flowers on these and small baby peppers here. So that's what we've got going on in the end of June out here in the garden. So I hope you've enjoyed the tour. And remember, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you would, please. And remember, dream big, follow that dream, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.